Good morning, awesome people. I hope we are all doing good. Happy Tuesday. Um, this is just going to be a very brief message. Doesn't have to be long. Don't have a lot of things that I want to say, but there's just one point that I want us all to go away with today and understand about life and how people behave. Sometimes we're expecting that people have to say something with their mouth for you to really get the crux of what they're saying. But a lot of the times, people's actions or inactions are just as loud and palpable as people who actually open their mouth to tell you something. But a lot of the times, we're either blinded by so-called love, or we are just not switched on enough to see what the people are really truly trying to say to you, or you're just simply in denial and don't want to accept the fact that that's what's going on. My message today is very simple. Don't allow yourself to be second fiddle to anybody. Don't allow yourself to be an afterthought to somebody whilst you are busy prioritizing them in your life. Good evening from here. You're in China. Hello, Francisca. How are you doing? Linda James. God bless you all for being here. Do not be an afterthought for somebody whilst you're busy being or making them a priority in your life. It's the simple message that I have for you this morning. What do I mean by what I'm saying? I've seen so many men and so many women that are actively in relationships and are continuously engaged fully in a relationship. You come in with your emotions, your heart, yourself, everything. You're given 110%. Hello, Pastor Patience. How are you doing? Good morning. You come with 100% of yourself. You're present. You show up. You think about them. You make them a priority in your life. You do just about anything for these people, this man or woman in your life. But when it comes down to it, when you need them to show up for you, to be there for you, they don't. You're dating this guy or this woman. You live in your separate homes. God bless you, Pastor Patience. You live in your separate homes and they wake up in the morning and you don't hear nothing from them. If you don't call them, if you don't check in on them, if you don't find out what is going on in their lives, you never ever hear from them. But you've just taken it as, oh, it doesn't really matter. He never calls me. She never calls me. It's fine. I take it upon myself to be the one that always shows up and is thinking about this person. Quite clearly, this person is trying to tell you don't matter that much. They can do without you. So why are you forcing yourself to fit into a particular place when the person hasn't opened their mouth but is clearly telling you that they don't need you in their lives? Why? Why? I'm glowing for the whole of Africa. You're so funny, Abla. How are you? Good morning, darling. Right? You're living with somebody and they don't prioritize anything that concerns you. Your health doesn't matter to them. In fact, whether you're here or not here anymore, doesn't really make any difference. If you're there, you're there. If you're not, well, who cares? Your health doesn't matter to them. Your existence doesn't matter to them. And yet you are going out of your way. You wake up in the morning. You make their lunchbox. You do this for them. You make sure everything about them is all sorted out. If they're at work, you're calling to check up on them. How is work going? What is happening? And yet when you need them, they're not there. I quite remember there was this young lady who was dating this guy and they'd been together for a very long time, 9 years. And this woman would leave her home, go to the boyfriend's house, take her broom, sweep the place, change his sheets, clean the floor, wash his clothes, cook food. And as soon as she arrives and he hands the key to her, he leaves. Goes to spend the whole day out of town with his friends, so-called friends. And sometimes he won't even come home. This girl will cook, clean, do everything, and wait till this guy gets back. Sometimes he might just come back at night. Or sometimes he stays over till the next morning to come back home. And for 9 years, she thought this was normal behavior. Only to now find, 9 years later, that this guy is marrying somebody else. And now she's in shock. Now she's hurt. Now she's heartbroken. A cousin of mine was telling me 3 days ago that there's this young guy in Ghana who has met this young girl from the UK. She came on holidays to Ghana and met this guy and decided that they were in a relationship. They've already done their deed and all of that. So as far as she is concerned, they're in a relationship. So she's sending him money every month. This boy is a student. He's sending him money every month to help him pay his school fees, to help him do this, do that, and the other. Meanwhile, this young man is busy chasing other women on the university campus, sleeping around with anything in skirts. But he has a girlfriend abroad who's working hard and sending her hard-earned cash to this guy in Ghana, thinking that she has a relationship. She's even talking about going to file documents to bring this person to the UK with her so that they can live together and be happy ever after. Just this morning, I was reading Ghana News. And there's this woman who has lived abroad in the UK and saved up £20,000. Do you know what it takes to save £1,000 in England? I don't know whether any of you guys watching me actually live in England. Do you know how hard it is to save up 20 grand? £20,000. She was working round the clock, not sleeping, not even feeding herself the good food that her body needs. Saved up £20,000 to go bring this guy that she had married a year or two prior in Ghana. The guy arrives pretending that they're together. And now that he's all sorted out, he's got permanent right to remain in England. Guess what? He's filed documents to go bring his actual girlfriend from Ghana to come live with him in England. And moved out from the house with the so-called wife. And now this woman is absolutely heartbroken and doesn't know what to do with herself. These stories, we could go on and on about them. But a lot of the times, the telltale signs are there. The people are telling you, even in their silence, that you're not really that important to them. Hear them. You cannot continue prioritizing somebody in your life, making them your ride or die, doing everything, going above and beyond for people, only for them to sit on the fence, pretend as if you don't really matter, whether you're in or you're out, they don't really care, and you're not hearing that. You're not listening to a word of what they're saying to you. Sometimes you can see the reality staring at you in the face, but you're still sat there. Oh, he's going to get better. Oh, he can change. I can change him. I'll pray for him and he's going to get better. There's a difference between somebody who knows that they suck at something and have the willingness and the open mind to be taught and guided to be a better person. But when somebody is actively telling you that you're not that important in my life, I don't care that much about you. You are the one who are throwing yourself at me and making it out as if you're the most important thing in my life. But I am telling you that I don't care about you by being silent, not checking up on you, not caring about you, not prioritizing your needs. Then it's time for you to hear them. And it's time for you to jog on into the sunset. Because if you don't, you set yourself up for lots of heartache, lots of pain, lots of anguish. There's so many people who are married today, especially marriages that have gone on for a long time. And the whole thing has just become stale. There's no oxygen, there's no love, there's no nothing. There's nothing even bonding the two of you together anymore. You're just living as housemates, roommates. It's time for you to actively look at your situation. See what is happening. Hear what you're being told. Hello, Tori, darling. How are you? Hear what is being said, honey. And make tactical decisions about your own life and where you're headed. Because in somebody's silence. They're even telling you something. And it's up to you to be, on the ball to hear what is being said. Don't sit around and allow it to be slapped in your face before you see or hear what they're telling you. Look, when somebody loves and adores you, they can't do a second without not hearing how you're doing. We all go to bed at night. Anything can happen in the middle of the night. If you care that deeply about somebody, as soon as you wake up in the morning, within the first few hours of the morning, you want to check up on that person to see how they're doing. If you're with somebody who doesn't care that much about you, to want to know what has happened to you overnight, are you fine? Have you woken up? Then it's not worth sacrificing yourself in that sort of a relationship. There are people who are living with other people, and when they're sick, they can still pack a bag and go to work and live their lives normally, as if nothing ever happened. Friends of mine will be in hospital and their spouses don't even step foot there to see what has happened to you, whether you've made it or you haven't made it. And you're still continuing to think that this is something that is worth keeping. There was somebody who had 2 children with a man. Thank you so much, Pastor P. There's somebody who was married to a man. Marriage. And had 2 children with this guy. This guy then decided in his mind that he didn't want any more children, but was still sleeping with the wife and not taking no precautions. Then she got pregnant with her 3rd child. As soon as he found out about it, his attitude in the house changed. He would go out, not come back, and when he comes back, he's so angry, always causing problems. Unfortunately for her, whenever she gets pregnant, she's so down and out because she gets elevated blood pressure with her pregnancies. This guy didn't care. He would get up, leave home, come home late, staying out late, and didn't care. 3 months in, she started to feel a little bit better. She couldn't do anything, and he didn't care. Then she says, oh, today I actually fancy drinking hot chocolate. So can I have a cup of hot chocolate? He goes in the kitchen, makes this hot chocolate. Only God knows what he put in that hot chocolate. As soon as this young woman had this hot chocolate, within half an hour, it was just oozing out, bleeding profusely and uncontrollably. And when he realized just how bad it was, bundled her in a car, took her to the hospital, and right there on the hospital gates, dropped her off and drove off. For 2 weeks, this girl was in hospital bleeding. She nearly died. The husband didn't care. Never stepped foot in that hospital to see whether she made it, what happened, is she dead, is she alive, nothing. Her best friend was the one who was doing all the runs, left her work, took time off, would cook food from one part of the town, travel all the way to the other side to the hospital, make sure she's fine, go back home, buy sanitary towels, buy all the medications, everything that the sister or friend needed, and sent it to him in the hospital. And after all of this, when it's all said and done, this girl goes back to the man. Oh, marriage is for better and for worse. I don't know what I have to do. I love him so much. And this, that, and the other. A few years later, this same man made the same girl pregnant. And this time, as soon as she tells him that she's pregnant, he packs a bag and never comes back. And that's how their relationship was finished. What am I saying here? Sometimes people tell you what they want to tell you in their actions or the lack of it. And when they do that, hear them. This man was nicely telling his wife, I don't want you anymore. Bugger off. But no, she wasn't hearing that. You have 2 children. I love him so much. He's the best thing that happened to me. And so she went back. Don't allow yourself to be treated like a doormat, like you don't exist, like you don't matter. They don't care about you, whether you make it or not. How can you be married to somebody, be in a relationship with somebody? How can somebody say they love you and a whole 24 hours can come and go and they can't even, like when you love somebody, you text them, you just want to be in constant touch with them. If somebody claims they love you and they can't do this for you, darling, hear them. Understand what they're telling you is that you don't really matter that much. And they want you to move on, live their lives because you're a nuisance. Hear what they're saying to you and take your nice little self where you're going to be appreciated, where you're going to be loved, where somebody is going to be so much over you, you don't even know what to do with yourself. Because that is what you deserve. You don't deserve anything short of that. You're a good person. You're a kind person. You're a loving person. Go give that love to somebody who is appreciative of that love and is going to reciprocate that love back to you, because that is what you deserve. You don't deserve anything short of that. And when people are talking to you by their actions or the lack of it, darling, hear them. Hear what they're saying. Make informed decisions based on what people are telling you and jog on, because they don't want you. You don't matter that much to them. Take all these precious gifts in your heart, that kind, good heart of yours, and go give it to somebody who is deserving of it. Somebody who's going to cherish and appreciate you for the rest of their lives because you did something or you matter to them. And stay away from those who are clearly telling you that you're not a priority. They don't care that much about you. Whether you're in it or you're out of it, it doesn't make that much of a difference to them. Hear them and move on with your life. This is my very simple, short message for anybody who wants to hear this morning. And I know that I've spoken to someone. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Think about what I've said. And if you're in that relationship that you're bending over backwards to make it work, and the other person is just folded their arms or just sitting there, whatever, what she did her do or him do what he wants. Honey, hear it. Love is not by force, You can't make somebody want you if they don't want you. Hear them and move on with your life. My name is Sika. Maybe you're going through something and you're looking for somebody who's going to point you in the right direction, going to help you figure out your own self. Maybe your brains need screwing on a bit better so that you can hear more clearly what is going on. Go to www.sikaeducates.com. Just book yourself a session and come and let's talk. All of these things that I'm telling you today are all because I had coaching. I found somebody who told me some of the things that I'm telling you today for free. But there's so much more in you, honey. You're so precious. You're so amazing. You're so lovely. You're so beautiful. You're so handsome. Take all of that and give it to somebody who's actually deserving of that. Not just throw yourself about at people as if you don't even know who you are. And you see that once you change, once your stance changes, people actually sit up and realize, this person ain't taking no bull crap no more. They have actually finally woken up and they know who they are. And they're going to take their precious little selves away from me and for somebody who is actually deserving of it. I love you so much, Tori. Thank you so much for your stars. I see you. Zainab, Theo, all of you. God richly bless you. If you haven't started following on TikTok, please, I beg you, go to TikTok. It's still Sika Educates and follow that page. I love you. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Stay beautiful and always understand you do not become an afterthought, second fiddle, second best to anybody. that you're throwing yourself at and making a priority and not getting that back in return. Bye.